Manchester, the UK's second city. Famous the world over as a football capital with the red of United and the blue of City. It's made its name as a music heartland and as a party town. But another group of players has given it a very different reputation. Welcome to the unpredictable, the bizarre. Tonight, we're at home with the Noonans. The Noonan crime family has a fearsome reputation in Manchester, cultivated over decades. The key criminal brothers have stolen £4.5 million from banks and cash-carrying vans. The family tree stretches to 4 generations, some deeply involved in crime, others staying firmly on the right side of the law. In this city, you don't mess with the Noonans. That's not a threat, that's a fact.
I've got a bigger army than the police. We've got more guns than the police, silly bastards. I'm down to 25 murders. Wow, a load of bollocks, innit?
24, wasn't it, you done?
No, I didn't do 24.
And I had a machete. And one of the gang lads that was about, so I just chopped its head off and carried it inside the pub and put it on the pool table. And more or less told them and asked them to stay away from the hacienda. Or the next time it'd be a human head. And they never came back. Domenyk James, lattlay-fottfoy the first. Many years ago, my dad used to say to me, just look after those that look after you. Fuck off those that fuck off you. So I changed it by that name to lattlay-fottfoy. That's what the initials stand for.
Domenyk is a member of the infamous Noonan crime family. He changed his name by deed poll in prison, where he has spent nearly 3 decades. The gangster is the best known of the criminal dynasty, and much of his activities have been reported on in high-profile court appearances. Others in the family have chosen to shun the limelight. Domenyk is a crime lord with a deserved reputation. He has over 40 convictions for serious crimes, including armed robbery, police assault, possession of firearms, prison escape, and fraud. He has been implicated in, though never convicted of, 6 gangland murders. Among the other charges which didn't stick are kidnapping, torture, and his favourite, witness intimidation.
I mean, they go around saying the Noonans are gangsters, killers, robbers. But maybe, but we don't make no apologies to nobody about that. That's how we are, and that's how we will stay. Say get to foot, you say you get to foot, son. We run this area, not you. I don't think there's a graveyard in Manchester. One of us hasn't put somebody in there. But they did because they deserved it. And they know we're Noonans, and if you take on one of us, you take on us all.
Domenyk's family extends beyond his notorious brothers. Meet Mandy, his ex-lover, and the mother of Domenyk's beloved son, Bugsy.
Bugsy is just a normal kid, and he's a good kid.
Oh yeah, I can't throw him now, I'm too old now, my back's fucking gone and everything. No, he's a good kid though, you know what I mean? He's got a good heart, he's like me, he's very kind, you know what I mean? If someone's got a problem, we'll go and help them out.
Mandy's house is never dull. In addition to looking after her son Bugsy and daughter Declan, Mandy's door is always open to friends, waifs and strays. The latest arrival is Andrea, a working girl and longtime friend of the family. She lives at the house and goes to work in the sex saunas of Manchester. She loves her job and dresses to please.
It's all about working it, put the long extensions in, all your all-in-ones, false nails, get your eyelashes done, you know what I mean? It's all for the custom, innit? Punters.
As well as having a large family, Domenyk is rarely seen without his crew of associates. Over the past 10 years, this modern-day Fagin has collected lads of various backgrounds and ages to do his bidding.
I always keep the young ones around me because they're more loyal, more trustworthy. They've got a lot of respect for them and they've got a lot of respect for me. I know that they will watch my back and I'll have to respect them and watch their back. And they know I've had their backs many times for them because I know that they will die for me and I'll die for them. They'll shoot for me and I'll shoot for them.
Whoever the new recruits are, all are well suited and booted. Domenyk has his reasons for being a well-dressed gangster.
It's important to us, not good. And we know we're being watched all the time, so we want to look smart, especially in case we end up in front of a jury.
In addition to the obligatory black suits, Domenyk and his lads have two other things in common: their haircuts and their familiarity with violence.
And you see someone like screaming with the fingers hanging off their hand and stuff like that, and you see blood dribbling down people's faces and stuff like that, and it makes you. It's like a release because it's better than sex.
Domenyk's current batch of associates includes some colourful characters. Meet Cody the doorman, Longshanks, Taxi Steve, Jamie the actor, and Essex Dave.
I knew the Noonans from a very early age, really. And I used to drive Desi about quite a bit. When he needed me, he'd phone me up. We've got lots of strong, loyal people around us. We'll always have that. You know, if they think they can just take one of us out when he's sober, then they're silly fucking people. Very silly people. Wasn't a problem. We always did what they asked of us, because at the end of the day, you know, they're a nice family. You know, they've always been there for people like myself. If we've ever had any problems, we could count on them to help us sort the problems out and stuff. We do look after each other. We look after our friends. We come out at end 3 or 4 in the morning. We stop all the burglars. We stop most of the filthy fucking drugs hanging about. You know what I mean? And they're just, you know, they're just genuinely nice people that I've grown up with, and you know, they're my friends. And if you know they phone me to run them here, run them there, whatever, then that's what we do. We help each other out. If they're stuck and they need to get from A to B, they'll phone you.
I'm Domenyk's driver. I drive him around for a daily basis. Wherever he needs to go, where he needs to be, I take him. About 11 years ago, and it was on a train. I was coming from Euston to Manchester, Piccadilly, and I was bunking the train. And I met Domenyk come over to us because the train guard was coming, and he goes, "He'll help us out, just pretend we was asleep." And we done that, and then he showed the train guard his prison release papers, and then he left us. Yeah, he's a nice bloke. He's really kind-hearted, helps everyone out, but no one shows the respect and helps him back out, and they should do, but they don't. I don't know, he's just a really nice bloke.
Domenyk and Longshanks were both brought up in Manchester in poor circumstances.
I have no ties with the Noonans, other than friendship and walking similar paths in life and making similar choices. And some of them do derive probably out of coming from similar backgrounds and obviously having that Irish heritage. My life one day at a time, because I've always expected to be murdered. That's just part and parcel of the lifestyle, that's, you know.
Jamie is a part-time actor, a nightclub promoter, and a regular driver for Domenyk.
Half my family was living in Manchester, so, like, I'd known about Domenyk, but, you know, I've not always been involved with him because he was locked up and stuff. Then when he came out of jail, like, it didn't seem, you know, he had no one around him, you know. He had people who were around him, but didn't, you know, they weren't really caring about him, you know. And he was just like, look, you know, I'm going to give you a job. I'm going to give you a driving job. You know, there's nothing, you know, there's no hard work in it, really, you know, just driving him about, you know, wherever he went, you know, looking after him, I suppose. I've been there as a mate. Some people might see him as, like, a bad person and stuff like that, but, you know, depending on how involved you are, you know, if he cares about you, then, you know, you're not going to be so much involved in in the bad side, you know. I was just there as a mate, you know, there as his driver, and just went everywhere with him, really.
Yeah, I met Domenyk when I was on the Gay Village. I stood on the door on Crunch. He came down, he was with another lad. He was doing the barrel boy, he had his barrel boy top on, doing his beer deliveries and stuff. Yeah, I met him, obviously recognised him. He's got a very recognisable face. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a 27-year-old guy, it's a bit weird to say this, but I was in awe of the man. The family name, everything that guy stands for and stuff like that. He's a cult figure for me, very much so. I look up to him, I respect him, even before I knew him. And then obviously having the, say, honour of being with him and being with the family and stuff. I've met some very interesting people and see the good that Domenyk does in and around the estates and stuff. And yeah, he's one of the most funniest people you ever meet in your life. His one-liners will second to none.
Domenyk even does stand-up where only the very drunk dare to heckle.
Hi everyone, as you all know, I'm Domenyk Noonan, the comedian around this area of Stockport. Nice to see you all tonight here in the Oak. So if you don't laugh at these jokes, I'll kill a lot of you. None of you believe in this building. As you know, just new to Stockport, just moved around. I seen a policeman the other day. I said, what's it like round here for crime? He went, well, we just arrested the 6 main ringleaders from Stockport. I said, where are they? He said, they're all on remand. I said, what were they up to? He said, what they were up to, they were selling drugs, beating people up, robbing houses, burgling cars and everything else. I said, where are they? Are they out on the streets? He said, no, they're on remand. There's 2 in Strangeways, there's 2 in Franklin, and the other 2 police officers in Wakefield. She abused me when I was 12.
The sometime comic and long-time crime lord has other surprises in store. He speaks Urdu.
आप शुरू शादी है?
शादी होगी।
अच्छा, कितने बच्चे हैं?
बच्चे 4 ने 3 मुंडे 1 थी।
अच्छा, एक ही काम करते हैं?
हाँ, एक काम करते हैं।
That's why I can speak Urdu. And I like to speak Urdu because these people around there respect me for that. Not like Manchester Police are too busy playing Ku Klux Klan in their headquarters. Down there we all speak it.
The days of police racism are long over, but that won't stop Domenyk from resurrecting the issue.
What have you ordered? आप छोटी शादी से नहीं है?
क्या अली शादीशुदा है? अली नहीं शादीशुदा है।
नजा है?
अली सिंगल है।
अच्छा।
वो ऐसी ढूंढ रहा था वहाँ से। एक सोनी लड़की। लड़की लड़का। Anything will do.
Lucky है. He's saying he's gay. He'll have any boy or girl.
As for Domenyk, he's known as the gay gangster, although he occasionally sleeps with women. He plays on this for humour, although the memories of his first experiences were traumatic.
Just put me down as a troublesome kid, just saying I was a nuisance. I went into a boarding school just the day after my birthday, and I was 13 then, exactly 13, and I was sat in the bedroom upstairs in the dorm, and when the night time come, I sat in the bed and just got punched straight in the face. I saw a white flash in that. I got told to do what we tell you to do. I told me to take my clothes off, start playing with them, sucking them off. And then they raped me, about 6 of them. And it went on all night. It went on for weeks, every night. And they'd take turns with me, staying in the bed all night, 2 at a time, raped me. And then they just went the next one, the next one, the next one. They just went on and on and on.
One of Domenyk's close associates, Cody the doorman, suffered similar abuse as a child, an experience that haunts him to this day.
There was a person that lived local to my mum and dad. It was like an older, wiser head to talk to, because you can't talk about things with your mum and your dad and stuff. And I went round to his house and stuff, and he used to like give me drinks and bloody sweets and all that sort of stuff. And I was like a young, vulnerable lad, and he took full advantage of this. And the tall story is, he abused me.
Some people used to slash up and all that, but I could never do that, so I used to fucking turn to violence and then just do fucking nasty things back to people that fucked me up.
And I went round to this address. I knew exactly where he lived. I went to this address and knocked on a door, and he didn't live there. And I'll be honest with you, my heart was sort of, I was gutted because, and I know that obviously there's a lot of people watching this and stuff, but the fact is this, I would have killed the guy. I would have actually got hold of him and I would have killed him.
And I eventually caught up with them, one after the other. Over the years, I caught a couple of them in Strangeways prison. See, they couldn't remember me, but I could remember them. They probably had that many victims. They just could not remember me. But I just went on a fucking hunting spree years later. Got up with one in the village, and just fucking smashed him all over, tortured that fucker. I just got hold of him, punched him up, smashed his fucking teeth out, stamped all over him on the floor, fucking bit on his ears, on his nose. I was sacking him fucking out. All the aggression was coming out of me that night, fucking ripping into him. And there's blood everywhere, fucking pounding his face and his fucking... I knocked him out, just carried on, just fucking carried on. He stopped screaming after a bit, and then he just fucking went out cold. I confess to Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, I've sinned for my own fault, in my thoughts and in my words, what I've done and what I've failed to do. And ask Blessed Mary, ever Virgin, all the angels and saints, and you, my brothers and sisters, to pray for me to the Lord our God. Amen.
So, like, you know when people go around with the collection things, what happens?
You put money on a plate, so remember, you put money on a plate, you don't take the money off the plate, yeah? So don't be, whoosh, you embarrass me. I don't like being embarrassed, not in a church. Keep your thieving hands in your pockets.
Despite being a major criminal, Domenyk takes his religion seriously and goes to church every week. His boys are dragged along for company and redemption.
We stand to receive the Advent blessing. Christ, the Son of Righteousness, shine upon you. Scatter the darkness before your path, and make you ready to meet him when he comes in glory.
I get satisfaction coming to a church and asking for forgiveness, and I believe I've just been forgiven for what I've done. I can just walk out of here and probably do the same again and just come back here. Obviously, you can't do that. The court say I'm sorry and expect to walk away.
I think there are more good people in the world than there are bad people, and there's more good in us than bad in us. But, you know, we tend to always focus on the bad, don't we?
I've done bad things in my life, you know, Roger. I've done bad things. I've had bad things done to me as well, you know, really bad things. Sometimes I can't even bring myself to talk about it. But I've done bad things to people, and they've done bad things to me. I've stole all my life. I've always wanted what others have had. You know what I mean? But, like, when I was in prison and I kept going to the church more, I mean, I was going to church outside. We had to go to church just to get our Sunday dinner off my mum, because if we didn't go, we didn't get Sunday dinner, simple as that. So we had to get a piece of paper to say we'd been there. And then we'll go back home. And then as I went to prison at 16 and 17, I started reading more into it. And to get out the cell, because we used to do 23-hour bang-up, we used to put down for religious classes. But we weren't really that interested. And as I sat there and I'm listening to others talking, I became more involved in it.
Being free, that is sweet. It's like honey, is it, to be free? Or do you feel that the world is no longer a place where you can enjoy true freedom?
Well, that's the only peace I get when I go to church on a Sunday. Yeah. I feel clean when I've left. Yeah. And everything I've done that week is just wiped away. So if I can keep a good week without any problems, I might not need to go to church the Sunday after. Because you see me in church every Sunday, I've done something wrong.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
For Longshanks, Domenyk's friend, crime and religion are comfortable bedfellows.
I think to be God-fearing is good. I guess it's like a sat-nav, it'll help you in the direction that you need to go. We all know our destination, and that's in the ground.
Expecting death at any time, Longshanks has already paid up front for his own funeral. The Noonans know that death can strike at any time and from any quarter. And when it strikes, the Noonans and their friends become most visible. The high-profile funeral of Desi Noonan, who boasted of having more guns than the police, required official road closures and attracted huge press interest. The funerals are also a reminder that murder is not without its consequences.
But notwithstanding where we are, I will say this. For me, forgive me, fathers. For me, there is no forgiveness for the perpetrator. and there is no forgetting for the perpetrator, wherever he or they may ever reside.
The deaths of key family members over the last decade have dealt serious blows to their Manchester power base. It has been left to Domenyk to rebuild operations in his own unique style.
At the end of the day, Domenyk is a very, very proud man. You know, he's come out of prison umpteen times and he's set up various businesses, which he's funded them businesses himself.
His businesses have included security firms and pubs, all serious firms but with a comic edge. His most recent enterprise is a courier firm, Greater Manchester Parcels, or GMP. Greater Manchester Police were not amused. Since coming out of jail in 2002, annoying the police has been his primary obsession. Styling himself a security expert and underworld policeman, he set about buying old police cars, security vans, and ambulances.
There's going to be 11 of these in the next few weeks. We're going to convert them into cash carrying vans. These back doors will be sealed up. These are getting sealed up with steel inside it. And then we got all this coming out. We're building cages here. One man will remain in the back of the van. One man gets out. We'll lift up the shutters, drop the money in or out, put it down. We're offering a cheaper service because I think security car and Group 4 are too expensive.
Despite, or maybe because of Domenyk's long criminal record, he opened his own community police station in 2005, offering security, protection and banking services. Many locals signed up to his operations, much to the continued distress of the Greater Manchester Police.
It's 75 quid each then. It is secure because they've got to get the fencing up yet. It's got cameras in it. All bulletproof windows going on this side. You can't sled through it. Same with this here. You can't come through this side. The desk going here. And they just hand the money out. There'll be little shutters on them. Put the bags out to them. There's also 5,000 safe deposit boxes going in downstairs. So you can leave all your deeds in there, your passports, anything of value. Half of them will probably put drugs and guns in them. We advise not to leave any money, obviously, because we'll not take responsibility for it. This is my undercover unit. Things are going for me pretty well, yeah. Things are building up, getting my businesses back, and then money's rolling back in. Illegally, by the way.
Domenyk genuinely wants to be a businessman. He genuinely wants to make a business and make it work. He's done what he's done. Everybody knows the things he's done. Armed robberies, the amount of times he's spent in prison. You know, what people don't realise is Domenyk is a very, very clever man. And when I say clever, I don't mean clever in a devious way. He has got a brain, a proper brain for a businessman. He knows better than anybody on this earth that these days crime doesn't pay. Years ago, there was no Big Brother eye in the sky, CCTV everywhere you went, and all the rest of it, like what we've got today. There was none of that. So back in the day, you could get away with things that you'd never dream of trying to get away with today. Domenyk now, right, has lived that life, and he doesn't want to live that life anymore. He just wants to be left alone to build businesses that he knows will work. And that is all he's trying to do.
The old-style crime boss openly resolves crimes, tracks stolen property, and adjudicates on matters as diverse as unruly neighbours and gangland wars.
This is my man over there. In daytime, I act as a social worker. Everyone seems to come to me with their problems around this area and other areas outside Manchester too. And it's one of the deprived areas. I was born here and bred here, and this is where I want to stay. I'm doing a lot of social services work again. People coming to me with the problems with the kids, asking me to speak to the kids and sort them out, try and keep them on the right line. Obviously, the cops will probably say, he's the wrong person to ask to sort out your fucking kids. You know what I mean? But that's what they think.
Do us a favour, ring them up to get this bottomed out, Tom. The gardens fucking keep out. It's going to cost me a pub here, mate.
No, I'll go on to them for you. This is where we have our gangland meetings. It's the only safest place to talk because we know the police haven't been down here yet and bugged it. And anyone who comes down here has to leave the mobile phones upstairs and anything electronic has to stay upstairs. We search them and everyone's happy to have the meetings down here.
Naturally, the police cast doubt on his social work credentials, but even they must admire his performances in the dock. He has regularly escaped almost certain conviction because of his court craft and the disappearance of key witnesses.
8 witnesses have decided to leave the country. All of them have left the country. That has been confirmed by the courts. They must have had a, I don't know, tour package. Must have got a cheap deal. The more gold, the cheaper it is, isn't it?
Even the threat of 20 years in jail on kidnap and torture charges doesn't seem to worry the crime godfather.
Another victory, another Noonan set off, and I'm coming home.
Probably, yeah, it's the jury. I want to know where the payment is. Hello?
Even when customs caught him red-handed with £500,000 worth of heroin in 2002, he somehow persuaded the jury of his innocence.
At the end of the day, my solicitors and me barrister did the investigation for that case to prove my case was innocent. Nothing else, nothing short, nothing less.
Praise justice! To praise justice!
But his extraordinary luck was not to last. The Greater Manchester Police mounted a massive covert surveillance operation on Noonan and his associates.
Good evening, I'm Ian Kenyon. 3 men from Manchester have been charged with firearms offences after they were stopped by police in Durham.
Just a normal revolver with 5 bullets found in the bonnet area, hidden inside the fucking battery compartment.
In early 2005, amid unprecedented security, Noonan naturally pleaded innocent. When his 2 co-accused admitted their guilt, the die was cast and Noonan was sent down for 9 years. The judge said that he was a dangerous man and a menace to society. He would serve a minimum of 5 years inside. Domenyk has spent so much time in prison, he is as comfortable on the inside as the outside. There are, however, casualties. Bugsy, Domenyk's son, must now come to terms with the fact that the main role model in his life is missing again.
It's been tough for me, Dad's been going to jail, innit? But it's nice when he's out. My mate's in prison now, innit? There's only a few of us who ain't. Don't care about your name. Like, obviously, most kids around here are dickheads, innit? I'm not, I'm just on a level. I just chat to everyone. Not because of who I am or who my family are. Just look at me because I'm a little bugsy off the estate.
Some of his friends have ended up in young offender centres, and there's a concern that Bugsy might join the shadowy figures that patrol the alleyways, looking for opportunities to make a quick buck.
Unless you ain't got a job or a hobby, not much.
Robbing, really, innit?
Crime.
Like chilling and getting high like a motherfucker.
But if you want to just chill and get high, you have to have the money just chill and get high, innit?
You know what I mean? Well, these kids fucking out there robbing fucking people for handbags, you know what I mean? That's sad though, we won't do that. You know what I mean? Rather I will go through someone's door and take the car. Because you know you're going to have a buzz out of that. Car crime.
Commercial crime.
You know what I mean?
Every bit of crime.
Every bit of fucking crime.
Around.
Get the right stuff, yeah, you can get up to like 50 grand, 60 grand, you know what I mean? But you've got to do the right thing to do that. You know what I mean? That's why we have to go out, putting the work in to rob the fast cars to do that, you know what I mean?
If you're going into an house, you don't know who's in there, so you take something with you, don't you? You know what I mean? So if someone comes down, it's moment of truth, innit? You hit him, man, or you hurt him.
You got bulletproof vests and stab-proof vests and all that. That's nothing, that, you know what I mean? But obviously you need that for your own safety, you know what I mean? If you ain't got that, then one day you could die, you know what I mean?
I ain't got a gun, but I could get one.
It's behind us. 2 minutes, just there.
While Domenyk is inside, people work for him behind the scenes. Bugsy receives a call from a family friend, a woman only known as the Fixer.
Yeah, but what, I'll chat about him up there. But I just need your address. Can you text me your address? All right then. About half an hour, 45 minutes. Chill out.
What's the story?
You can go up there now, but you can't film.
Our camera crew followed Bugsy to the Fixer's home, where she agreed to be recorded as long as her face wasn't shown on camera. The Fixer, it seems, is Domenyk's eyes and ears on the outside.
I originally met Domenyk a few years back when he helped me. He got my loyalty, respect, and since then I've done and always will the same. It was Sunday that I come round threatening to smash the windows. We had a camera at the time, and we got the police, and the police did nothing, as usual. Anyway, Domenyk went to speak to these people, and he did only speak to them, by the way. And that was the end of that. To coin a phrase, in my eyes, the police are just corrupt, because they will never, ever, ever step down and leave him alone. I personally think that they realise he's more popular than the police, because you phone a police up for any reason, they don't come out. We can't do that, love, we're understaffed. But Dom would. He won't come out like most people think, violently and bullshit. He doesn't deal with it like that. He'll talk to people. He's like, if you like, a mediator, and says, you know, that's not on, you don't do that. You just deal with it another way, not like that.
As well as keeping the press informed about matters that Domenyk once highlighted, the Fixer is also the official moderator of his Facebook page.
Domenyk does communicate with people on the outside through Facebook. I mean, he's had 2 accounts now. The first one was closed down because they said it wasn't run with authorisation, which it was, but I reopened it. And they originally tried to say he was running it from inside prison, which was rubbish. And as far as I'm concerned, it was an embarrassment to the press themselves. But it wasn't run by Domenyk from inside prison. It was run by me with Domenyk's permission. I run it for him. I've done it for some time now. I did step down for a bit because it's quite hard work. But I'm just keeping people rallying round him, keeping the support going and keeping him connected. I mean, you do know recently most of his mail has been going missing, that's supposedly going to the prison. And now they're saying, oh, it was wrong address, but no, I don't think so. Well, there's a lot of internet warriors, isn't there? I mean, I've had death threats. I just try to keep him going, laughing and joking and...
Drunk. Oh my God, I don't even want to have a look, mate.
People on Domenyk's Facebook constantly asking how he is. There is quite a lot. I mean, he's got them, as you know, all over the country, and they're all interested how he is. There is quite a lot of support, although it might not look like it on Facebook itself, but I do have people's numbers and they're in contact regular. And most of my friends on my Facebook are on Dom's anyway. So I'll just send a message to everybody. If they shut me down, I'll do it again.
Domenyk is kept in the high-security Franklin prison in Durham for most of his sentence, before moving to his second home, Strangeways, in Manchester. Whenever Domenyk is away, his boys, though, find other ways of keeping themselves busy. Steve, the taxi driver, keeps an eye on Domenyk's boys and property when the boss is inside.
Domenyk has a couple of properties, one which is his office, one which is his flat. He has various lads that work for him that do different things. And all I'm doing, really, is looking after, making sure that his property's looked after, it's not abused, it's not broke into, it's not wrecked. Keeping my eye on the lads because the young lads, you know, they go out, when they're out with Domenyk, they don't get in no trouble. He keeps them out of trouble. They don't go getting drunk, causing riots and running around the place. They don't go smoking drugs. They all working and learning different skills.
Jamie, Domenyk's driver, has steered clear of trouble.
I don't do anything wrong now. Went to a couple of auditions. I'm acting, been in quite a few things now. I'm just pushing with the acting, really. Just done a TV series. It's all about the acting and all about my kids and my family, so...
Scene 3, Slate 5, take 1, rehearsal.
There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. Tommy, I can't do this alone.
Just shut up, yeah? Shut the fuck up.
Cody, Domenyk's close associate, has returned to work as a bouncer.
I've just started working myself down on the door down here. It's a very nice area. You got quite a smart selection of people that come down here. A lot of students as well, obviously, but it's just an overall, like, different class of people down here compared to the other parts of town. It's a bit posh for my liking, to be honest, but work's work. Oh, this is Manchester's famous gay village. Like I say, a lot of colourful characters down here, some good memories. I've done the door down quite a few of these venues and stuff like that, so... But in the week, it's mainly gay. But
But at the weekends, you get all your straight, you get your straight idiots that come down. Well, not just across the street, but just get your scally element that come down and are kicking off, bouncing from door to door and stuff like that.
The village is actually the place with the highest recorded amount of assaults over a weekend. That's why you get such a police presence. You get quite a lot of scallies that hang around here. You know, obviously with the park and stuff like that.
The pickpockets as well.
Quite a few back streets. You've got the flower sellers, they pickpocket. So there's quite a heavy police presence around here as well, which I suppose makes it in popular turn as well, like with the women and stuff like that. You know, feel a lot safer or whatever stuff down here.
Domenyk has always claimed that his version of law and order has kept the lid on crime in his area. While he has been inside, violent crime has risen in Manchester. Cases of witness intimidation, though, have dropped. In the absence of Domenyk, Bugsy plays man of the house.
Bugsy thinks he's the boss. He thinks he's the boss of the house. I can scream and shout at him, doesn't listen. He's the man of the house, he said, I'm not.
I'll tell you soon, I won't go fucking shopping and getting stuff for you, so get up!
That's all right, get up. Get up. I just shout and bawl at him. But they just don't listen to me.
What did you say? What? What? Mummy, what?
I used to beat him as a kid.
Oh, Bugs just goes sulk and slams his door and stays in his bedroom. Oh, he always shouts, Mum, Mum, get me this, Mum, get me that, Mum, do this. I'm Declan, and I do it. They're not bad kids, they're not. No, they're growing up now, aren't they? Well, Bugs doesn't go to bed till about 3 in the morning. He don't get up till about 4 or 5, because there's nothing for him to do. Declan's nothing for her to do. She stays in the bed till about 1-ish, 2-ish. So I have to wait till they get up so I can do the bedrooms. Because all the house is done. It's just them two in bed all day. Just do it for him. I'm the mummy.
Recreational drugs are not considered off limits.
And they'll eat this, the kids will eat this. And they'll eat pizzas. And definitely eat this.
What is this year, innit? It's dead hot, innit?
So their breakfast is about 4 o'clock. So lots of tea. Saves me some money, doesn't it? Yeah, we have loads of people at the house, especially at weekends as well. Jacob, he comes Wednesdays and Thursdays because my daughter works, Kimberley. But my daughter and her 2 grandchildren, they stay at the weekends. My daughter's friends, my son's friends. They all pile in the garden.
Not me. Ah! Lewis!
Having a prostitute in the house isn't anything out of the norm for the Noonans.
Key, mate. Have you got a key?
No. Have our moments. Especially when all the girls are in the house. There's only one boy. Bugs there.
Later, Andrea, the working girl, makes her nightly trip to the brothel.
Yes, I work in a massage parlour, and I've worked in one since I was like a few years now, on and off, you know. Sometimes work, sometimes don't work. Just thinking about doing escorting. Well, I'm 30 years of age, and I can still go out as 24 and 20. Simple, really. It's just like, you know, please men. No, married men, single men, young boys, old men. It's all sorts of generation, really. It's both. I've met people, yeah, where I was ashamed at first to say that I was a brass. I was very ashamed at it, but no, I'm not ashamed, and I couldn't care less because they're not paying my bills. I pay my bills. I can buy my own things and buy the things what I want, and it's no one's business. It's still a job. I'm a working girl what has a job and work a good hour, but by chance, I get paid good money. Sometimes you can just connect with them, can't? It's like when you go out for a drink, really. I do mix it, but no, I've never really wanted a boyfriend, to tell you the truth.
Meanwhile, when Bugsy needs a break from the madness of the house, he escapes to his mate Luke, also known as Wids, an upcoming Manchester rap artist.
Go see your mate Luke and he does some music. It's good, man. Listen. Go have a listen now, innit? Yo, Luke. What's going on, boy? All right? Oh, yeah, man, you. What's going on? Fuck all, man. Just chilling with you.
Both boys go back a long way and are no strangers to the shadows of the street.
Luke Gregory, MC name's Wids. I do music daily basis, just write, record, get friends round, crack on, have a few spliffs, see where we go from there. Bugsy pops round now and then, known him many years, many long years. And we just, funny times, go out on weekends, do what we do best really. Anything normal teenagers do, just go pubs, get drunk.
House parties. Last time I went to the house party with each other. I had to fucking knock that kid out, innit?
Yeah.
But if he done it, he would have went to jail, innit?
I had a bit of trouble with some lad, but I couldn't go near him, obviously, as I would have went to jail. So Bugsy did the honours and laid him out. Didn't you?
Only hit him once, you know?
Well, it varies really. I'm more rap, hip-hop, but it depends. Depends on the music, really. It takes a good beat, a good instrumental to be able to create good music. Well, the place that I'm from, there's only so much you can write about, to be honest. It's violence, crime, women, money, just, yeah, everyday stuff. But now and then you do like to get a bit creative and try and think outside the box, try and write something good for a change. But it's very rarely. You just see what happens and just go with the flow, really.
While Domenyk's boys keep their heads down, Mandy struggles to hold the fort and keep Bugsy in check.
I've been doing this since nursery.
Growing up fast, Bugsy flirts with prison and the wrong side of the
I know
street.
about the income that he's on. Also, I know the cats only think about freedom. I know it because I'm living the scene. I've been here since day one, yeah, I'm living the dream. It seems obscene to the untrained eye, but let me explain sludge to us, they just fly.
The dark side of Manchester is the world they live and inhabit. Wid lives the life that he likes to write and rap about.
For me to talk, he every man in a division. So I had to make my decision. Freedom is free, son. I'll live life in the prison, you see. I ain't the one to bruise and prosecute, but Don, you're the one that has to choose your own route. Obvious, we all know life would be better if we all made cheddar without pulling Berettas, you see. It's damn easy to make the loot. Throwing a body, you make a salary, it's easy to shoot, it's true. That's why my brother's living in the ways. It's harder to get employed on a legitimate wage. That's why my brothers turn to legitimate ways. Even the mothers don't conflict on the sons that they've raised.
For the Noonans, the day ends where most begin, with Domenyk in jail. There at least he enjoys some comfort with free food, free accommodation and free sex.
I don't mind going in jail because outside I get what I want, and when I go inside I get what I want.
Next, Bugsy has choices, a law-abiding life or one as a kid gangster.
That this year going out robbing.
But when cute kid becomes wayward teenager, the police come knocking.
We went out with the cars and we got two.
Bugsy's dad, Domenyk, fears for the worst. Meanwhile,
Keep Bugsy out of jail.
the crime boss faces serious charges.